And then this is my daily highlighter. This is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. This highlighter is absolutely beautiful. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I was just putting away some brand new products right now in my vanity, and I thought it might be fun to do a vanity tour for you guys. You guys have seen my vanity in my background on a couple of my videos, and I figured, hey, you guys might be interested in seeing what exactly is inside my vanity. And it's actually clean right now because I just put product away. I've been doing chores right now. So I figured since it's clean, now's the opportunity to show you guys what is actually inside of it. So stay tuned if you guys want to see that. But really quick, if you're new here, just want to let you know my name's Sarah. I do content on fashion and beauty. And if you'd like to stick around and keep watching the rest of my videos, make sure to subscribe and also make sure to hit that notifications button so you get notified of any time I have a brand new upload. Okay, you guys, so this is my vanity. It's not super fancy, but it does the job. So this table is actually a writing desk from Target. When I saw it online, I fell in love. If it is still available, I will link it, but my sister got it for me for Christmas. She was so sweet to get it for me because before this, I was actually using a glass computer desk, which did the job, but honestly, this is much better. This is much more suited because I do actually have drawers. I already need more drawers because I'm collecting product like crazy, but we will upgrade at some point. I just love the wood on this. I'm sorry that it is a little bit dirty. It does get used daily with all of this makeup on it, but I did love wood. I know that a lot of people do white, but I mean, look at how dirty I've already made it. I knew that I had to do something with some kind of grain in it so that it didn't look super terrible every day. But this is the chair that I sit in. It is just a chair from IKEA. I'm not sure which one it is off the top of my head, but I will make sure to link it down below. It's fine for sitting in for like an hour, but past that it gets kind of uncomfortable and I have to put some cushion underneath my tush. But just for sitting there long enough to do my makeup, it does the job. So coming down below, these are just whiteboards that I sometimes use for flat lays. It's rare now. I used to use it a lot more in the first iteration of my blog, but I've since moved away from that super stark white background. But one of the reasons why I had wanted a writing desk is because it has these cords built in to one of the compartments above, so I can actually plug in devices, which is a really, really nice feature of it. But underneath my desk, since I don't have drawers, I just got these little bins. So in this bin, this is where I store some false lashes, some extra ones. These are the lashes in a box ones. These are some Ardell ones. I also have my brushes cleaner pad right here. I also have the Jeffree Star So Fucking Gold Skin Frost in here just because it's so big. It's too big to like put up on my vanity. I also have extra brushes. This is the e.l.f. This is the number 23 Precision Eyebrow Duo Brush. You guys know from my very first video here on YouTube, I love this brush for eyeliner. I also have an extra Stila eyeliner down here, as well as like this Maybelline colored eyeliner. I have this Ofra Cool as a Cucumber primer, and then I also have this Maybelline Fit Me matte and poreless primer. I tried to use this foundation for the very first time when I tried to film my first Get Ready With Me video. The footage for that ended up being terrible. It was just very bright and you couldn't really see very well, so I never published it. So I tried this on camera for the first time in that video and I actually ended up hating it, which is why you haven't seen it since. I have an extra RCMA powder, some more primer. I have this e.l.f. primer, and then I have the concealers that I probably will never use again, these Makeup Revolution one, and then the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Honestly, neither of them are inherently terrible, but I am very married to the Tarte Shape Tape and now the Jeffree Star Concealer, so really no need for those anymore. And then in this little box, I have an extra makeup sponge that I honestly don't feel like I'm ever gonna use, but oh well, it's in there. And then I store a bunch of extra lipsticks in here. As you can tell, I am a lipstick junkie. There is more up top, but this is where I store. I used to be super into these Revlon Color Stay Moisture Stains. This is a Bite Beauty like lip pencil thing. I have one of the Too Faced melted lipsticks in here, and then just a bunch of ColourPop, a bunch of NYX, some NYX butter glosses. I also have some like bullet lipsticks in here from the drugstore, some NYX lingerie in here. So this is just like a random assortment of a bunch of different lipsticks that I don't really use very often, but I kept because I feel like I might end up using them at some point. Moving on to this bin on the other side of my chair, this is just a bunch of makeup bags over here. I've collected quite a few over the years. This Right here is my favorite makeup bag of all time. It's by Jouer. I just love how luxe and beautiful it is, and I love these florals on it. And this is actually big enough to fit any palette that I want in it, so I love that for travel. And then this guy is the only one that has anything in it. I just like have some hairnets for buns, which is very rare that I do. I have some bobby pins, some of these little clips in here, and then this is actually the perfume that I wore for my wedding. It is the Tom Ford Jasmine perfume, and I just got a little sample size of it because they just let me try it, and they filled it up like up to there, and I was like, well, I can easily just use this for the wedding, so that's what I end up using. But I do eventually want to go back and get the full bottle of it so that I can wear it on special occasions. Okay, and then moving into the first drawer here, this is mainly my palette drawer. So I have some smaller palettes here. This is a Smashbox contour palette, which I loved. Smashbox actually sent this to me. I like won some social media contest that I didn't even know I had entered. I guess I had like thrown a comment on one of their posts and they selected me as a winner and I didn't even realize, so that was kind of funny. This is a Viseart Mini Petite Pro palette, and then the Tartelette Tease palette. You guys might have seen this in my most recent Get Ready With Me video, but this is my Morphe Single Eyeshadows palette. And then, and you guys can tell these have been loved, this is the original Jaclyn Hill Favorites Morphe palette, her very, very first one with Morphe. I still keep this even though those shadows probably are no good anymore. And then I have a couple of Coastal Scents palettes in here, and these were just like individual shadows that I put together in a palette. And these palettes right next to them are favorites that I honestly love, but there's just no room for them up top. So I have the Modern Renaissance palette. I have this Random Makeup Revolution one, which is just like a blush and highlight palette. Sometimes I reach for this one in the summertime because I like the colors for it. And then this is the Too Faced Bittersweet Chocolate palette. As you can tell, you guys, my cosmetics have been well loved and definitely used. And then right below it, I have this random Chanel eyeshadow quad. I just stored a couple of extra concealers in here. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer. This is in tan. This one is slightly darker for me, which I specifically got for the summertime, but I'm just not ready for it yet. And then this is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Foundation, which, like I said, I'm going to do a face-off review between these two. And then in this little container, I have a bunch of ColourPop highlighters or Super Shock cheeks. This one is Lunch Money. Then I also have Wisp. And then I have the K-Pop Glow Up. And then finally Avalon, which is more of like a bronzy cheek. And then over here, I have the e.l.f. Jelly Highlighter, as well as some single shadows from Urban Decay. This one is Mushroom, and then Asphyxia, which is like one of the prettiest purples in the world. I need to remember to use this one because it's so gorgeous. And then I have Sin, as well as Cobra. And then over here is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Powder. I used to use this religiously until I got my eyebrows done, and now I don't really have a need for it, so it just kind of lives down here. And then I have this random MAC Red Brick single shadow. And then in the back here, I have this beautiful MAC eyeshadow palette. I believe that this was like a holiday collection. Sorry guys, couldn't get it open, but that's what it looks like. There's just some like really, really pretty shades in here, and I love this brush that it came with. So I use this when I'm feeling like I want to do something kind of fun and funky and creative. And then I also have this Makeup Revolution eyeshadow palette. Honestly, I wasn't that impressed with this palette, so I like rarely ever bring it out. I have this Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow quad. This quad used to be my go-to. I would use it every single day, but ever since I've started getting her palettes, that's what I've been using more. But the colors that are in here are Orange Crush, this is Sienna, and then Fudge, which is a really, really beautiful brown. And then this random Morphe one, this is Glisten. The reason why I threw this one in was because I wanted a highlight color. So at the time, this is what I used to use every single day. And then I also have the classic Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. God, I wanted this palette for so long. I still love it. I love the purples, and this color in particular, Nuts About You, is the main reason why I wanted this. And this color over here, Rich and Creamy, is one of my favorite brow highlights of all time. And then finally, down below in here, I have the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro Palette. I love this one when I want to switch up my contour color because like I get so used to the L'Oreal one that sometimes I'm like, wait, let me see if there's something different, and like I reach for this palette every single time when I want to change it up. And then over in this drawer, I have this little container that I got from Daiso. This holds my Duraline. It usually holds some extra lashes, these random little Eyelure mini glues that come with Eyelure lashes, and then a sharpener for if I have any pencils that need to be sharpened, and then of course more lashes in here. I usually store my lashes actually in the bathroom in our medicine cabinet, but sometimes I'll store them in here as well. And then I have two more palettes that there just wasn't enough room for in this guy, but it is the Urban Decay. This is the Gwen Stefani palette. Talk about a throwback. These are definitely throwback palettes that were limited edition that I want to keep for sure. And then the other one is the Urban Decay Vice 4 palette. And then this is another area where I store lashes. I have some extra Eyelure number 143s. I have the Ardell Studio effects in here. I have this random flash tattoo for my bachelorette party. Don't know how that got in there. I have these lashes from Mandy Lashes. I believe the company changed its name. These lashes are honestly absolutely beautiful, but they are just way too big for me. And I had already cut them and tried them on, so that's why I didn't give them away. They're absolutely gorgeous, but they are too big for my eyes. And then I also have these lashes. Can't for the life of me remember where they're from. I feel like they were probably from LA Splash, so they're kind of old. And then I also randomly keep two extra clickers in here because I do film in front of this vanity sometimes, so I just store those in there. I have some dress tape, boob tape, whatever you want to call it. And then I also put my Wet n Wild's, the Hello Halo liquid highlighters in here. You guys know how much I love these. They give you such a great, beautiful highlight. So I put these here so they're easy to reach for. This is the Opal Cream Highlighter. Definitely a well-loved product for me. This was my first non-powder highlight that I ever had, and I fell in love with it. And then over here in these little containers, I keep my Ben Nye powder and apparently more flash tattoos. This is an old one. This was before Tarte Shape Tape. This is what I used to use. This is the Naked Skin concealer from Urban Decay. And then I have just a bunch of lip pencils in here, an extra mascara. This is the Maybelline Falsies Push-Up Drama. I used to love that mascara so much. And then over here, I keep a bunch of extra brushes that I might want to have on hand. This is a retired foundation brush. Same with this guy. Some extra powder brushes. These brushes down here, I keep on hand when I want to really cut my contour. These are the best for them. Like anything that's this kind of shape and this kind of density will really give you a defined contour line. And then moving on to the next one, I keep my Hourglass. This is the retouching fluid. I love this thing. This thing should actually be stored in my purse now that I'm thinking about it. But this actually touches up your makeup so that you don't have to like go in and like redo concealer or anything. It's just like a fluid that'll kind of like fill in the patches and the holes. So really this should be in my purse to like use throughout the day. I have a random MAC lipstick in here. This is the one that I used on my engagement shoot. It's this really, really pretty nude. I love putting this like in the middle of my lips for like more of a pouty look. And this one is the Mineralized Rich lipstick in Pure Pout. And then I also keep my Stila, what is this? Shimmer and Glow liquid eyeshadow in here. I have it in this super bright blue. This one is Vivid Sapphire. I also keep this Temp Dew liquid highlighter in here, which I think is expired, so really I gotta go through this and like actually take a good look. And then I keep some Tarte Shape Tape concealers in here, and you guys are probably like, girl, what's going on? Why do you have so many? You might recall it was my e.l.f. versus Tarte Shape Tape video. I actually haven't thrown out a Tarte Shape Tape yet because there is clearly still product in the bottle. What I saved these for are for when I go on vacation, because it's just enough left that I can use it during my stay, and then I can either throw it out, or if I forget it in the hotel, it's fine because it's not a full bottle. I have a couple more liquid highlighters back here. This is the NYX A Wavy Glow, and then some random extra eyeliners in different assorted colors. Moving on, I have the main area where I keep my most used lipsticks. Clearly I have a lot of Jeffree Star here. Put them right next to Kat Von D because, you know, why can't we all just get along? And then I also have these Smashbox Always On liquid lipsticks as well. These are like my favorite liquid lipstick formulas of all time. And then I have some Bullet Bite Beauty lipsticks. You guys know from my Holy Grails video. This is my favorite liquid lipstick formula of all time, and this is my favorite bullet lipstick of all time. And then I also have a Ofra lipstick back here, some Anastasia Beverly Hills, as well as some Beauty Bakery lipsticks. I love Beauty Bakery. I think their formula is absolutely gorgeous. And then over here I have some more random lipsticks, some Urban Decay, some more Anastasia Beverly Hills, and then I randomly keep my Violet Voss lipstick lipsticks over here. And then right here is where I keep the blushes that I use. This is the Milani Luminosa blush, which you guys know about. I just talked about that recently in my most recent favorites video. And then underneath it is MAC Melba. And then this is my daily highlighter. This is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. This highlighter is absolutely beautiful, and it looks almost like a natural glow and glisten to your skin. And then underneath him is the Jeffree Star Banana Powder. And then, apologies, I realized I never recorded the clip of all of my palettes here that I keep in this organizer. I will make sure to link this palette organizer down below in the description. But over here, we've got the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. Again, another holy grail of mine that I love. I keep this one up front and center. If I could get it back in there, there we go. I have the Artistry 2 palette that I mentioned in my April favorites from Bad Habit Beauty. Also have the Desi X Katie Dose of Colors Friendcation palette. I love this palette. It is so gorgeous, and I love all of the different colors in there. I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette. Clearly well loved. I got it before the Soft Glam palette, and this was my go-to for the longest time. Also have the Makeup Revolution Soph X highlighter palette. This highlighter palette is amazing. I love all the different colors you get with it, and the quality is actually pretty good on these. Again, we have another Bad Habit Beauty palette. You guys have seen me use this a million times before, but it is the Aphrodite palette. All of these really, really beautiful warm red and brown tones in here. And then we have the Juvia's Place, the Saharan Blush Volume 2 palette. These blushes are super crazy pigmented, like a little bit goes a long way. You just need a small dab of those. And behind that I have another Soph X Makeup Revolution palette. This one is the Extra Spice palette. I love this one when I'm feeling creative and I want to do some fun colors. The only thing is that these aren't super crazy pigmented as far as colors go, so it's gonna be like a soft wash of color, but sometimes, you know, like that's what you want. Right behind that, this is kind of an old one. This is Kathleen Lights and ColourPop their Dream Street palette. I love this color in particular, Water Bearer. If you want to do like a turquoisey blue smoky eye, that is your color right there. I also love this one too, Mermaid Bay. Potion is amazing. Magical is amazing. Honestly, it's a really, really great palette. This color Kaleidoscope is so cool on the eyelid too. And then got the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Androgyny palette. I'm obsessed with this palette, and I feel like it'll never run out because look at the size of these pans. But the colors in here are absolutely perfect. They're so beautiful. This red fetish is just amazing. And last but not least, one of my favorite palettes of all time. This is the Ofra Pro palette. This is the Boho palette. So this palette literally has everything you need. It has a bronzer, it has 2 highlighters, it has a bunch of neutral shadows, and 2 blushes. And then honestly, this banana powder in here is so good. It brightens up my eyes so well. It's incredible how well it works. And honestly, when I go on vacation, I could really truly only pack this palette and be set, but I'll usually want to bring at least like one other eyeshadow palette with me that has some fun colors in it, just, you know, in case I feel creative. And then this wasn't originally in my collection when I originally filmed this vanity tour, but I just got this. This is the Natasha Denona, the Lila mini palette. Just tried her shadows for the first time. I really like them, and I plan to be using them on camera very soon. And then over here is another assortment of palettes that don't fit in this palette holder over here. But this guy is the e.l.f. Foundation Quad in Dark. I actually really, really love this to do a cream contour. And then underneath him is some RCMA powder that I keep in this e.l.f. translucent powder cap. I don't know where the actual e.l.f. translucent powder went. I don't even really use it. I just use RCMA. But I like to have it sprinkled flat, and I don't like to waste. So I keep it in this guy, and then I keep this guy on top of it so that no dust gets into it when it's being stored. And then I also have the Morphe C9 Jewels palette. This palette is amazing. I also have the Morphe Glamour Bronze Bronzer, the ColourPop Cute AF palette, the Saharan by Juvia's Place, and then this is the Morphe 15H Artistry palette. I think it's the Happy Hour palette. I just got this guy and I love it. Moving on, over here are some of my essential tools. These are the Eco Tools beauty sponges. You guys have heard me rave about this a million times. Clearly, these are not new. These are used and loved and still in very good shape, so they're not quite at a time to replace them, but they are clearly at a place to clean them, which is actually what I was going to be doing next, was going through all my brushes and my beauty tools and cleaning them. And then this guy is new. This is a silicone sponge that has a sponge texture on the back. And then this little dish I got from Target. I think it was $3, and I thought that it was just like a cute little dish to rest all of my sponges on so that they can sit out and dry out. Over here, this is a little hello sign from Target. Again, it was $3. I got it at the same time as that dish, and I just like it sitting here because I'm usually doing my makeup in the morning, and it's a nice little cute like hello for your morning. And then I have this fake succulent plant. I can't keep real plants alive, so yeah, I buy fake succulents. Come at me about it. And then I also have this vanity mirror from Magic Fly. This is my main mirror that I use, and then I actually also use it to travel with. You guys can see my Sailor Moon shirt in it, clearly. But this guy is actually supposed to light up. It doesn't do the greatest job of lighting up, so I don't really use it for that, but it's perfect for travel. You can actually break it apart and make it really compact and then set it back up when you get to your hotel. You just need to find a good lighting source though, because the LED on it is not that strong and doesn't make that much of a difference. Moving on to my foundation corner. So over here I have the Benefit Hello Happy foundation. I keep this guy out just because I like the smile. It makes me smile, so that's why I keep him out here. But then I also have the Jouer Essential High Coverage Cream Foundations. You guys know how much I love these. I think that those are the best foundations of all time. This little dish, again, is from Daiso. I thought it was just like a nice display for my main foundations. This guy is just a lip balm that I'll usually put on before I do my makeup so that my lips can soften before I put on a liquid lipstick. All right, and starting at the front, I have the regular color of mine. This is number 7 Sand, the Milani Conceal and Perfect. I have one of my holy grails, which is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I have the Smashbox Studio Skin foundation, the Kat Von D Locket Tattoo foundation, which I haven't used in so long. And then I have the Fenty Beauty foundation back here, and then the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation. This foundation was so tough for me. I love the finish, but it oxidizes like crazy, and I can't figure out my color in it. Right now, I'm using 7.0, and it's honestly a touch too dark on me, but when I go to the next shade down, it's like too light, so I don't know what to do about this foundation. But I do love the finish, so I usually use it to mix if I just want a little bit more coverage. Moving on over here, this is where I keep my milk primers. This is the Blur Stick that I use most of the time, especially because I'm usually doing minimal makeup days. And then I also have the Hydro Grip Primer, which is amazing. And then in this first little jar, which was made by my stepbrother-in-law, he is really, really great at ceramics. So shout out to Chris Sharp. But this is where I keep all of my eyeshadow brushes. I keep any brow brushes that I use in here, as well as any eyeliner brushes in here. And then back here is where I keep all of my face brushes. I have powder brushes, I have foundation brushes, I have blush brushes, bronzer brushes, contour brushes, you name it, I got it back here. And then over on this corner, this is where I keep my finishing spray. I love the L'Oreal Infallible Makeup Extender Setting Spray. This is my favorite of all time. I've tried the All Nighter, I've tried the Morphe one, I've tried so many. This is the best one, in my opinion, that actually makes my makeup stay. Like I've said about a couple other products in here, I don't feel that it gets the recognition that it deserves. I also have the Mario Badescu. Clearly this is an old one, but this is the Rose Water Face Spray. I love this thing. It's so hydrating. Sometimes I'll spray it on after I do my makeup before I put on this one, just to give myself some extra hydration. And then behind it is the ColourPop Amber Crystal Setting Spray. I think that this one was limited edition because I can't find it on their site anymore, but just like the Mario Badescu one, I like this to give me a little bit luminosity before I put on my final setting spray. And then I keep a couple of perfumes back here that I use pretty regularly. This is the Lancome Trésor perfume, and then this guy is old and doesn't even get made anymore, and I use it very sparingly, but it's one of my favorite scents of all time. This is the Kat Von D Sinner perfume. I think she might have made a new version of this, but it doesn't quite smell the same. So I am just using this very, very sparingly because this is my favorite scent on me and this is Trevor's favorite scent on me. So I just pulled this guy out for special occasions. And then this is also where I keep my RCMA powder. I just fill up that little lid whenever it's running low and I keep the bottle just right over here. Okay, then moving on to this little organizer. This was given to me by one of my best friends, Anna. She was my maid of honor. Over here on this side, I have my concealers. These are the Jeffree Star concealers. Clearly I have a few because like I said, I didn't have my correct color the first time. And then also I use C0 to do cut creases. I also have the Tarte Shape Tape over here in medium. Then I have a little mini guy in medium light when I want a lighter kind of under eye. Over on this side are some random tools as well as mascaras. I have a nail file. I have some scissors to cut my lashes. I have my lash tweezers, regular tweezers, my lash glue, the Sonia Kashuk one, Too Faced Better Than Sex, L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara, Stila eyeliner, and then the e.l.f. number 143 brush that I use for my gel eyeliners, and also my eyelash curler. And then in this compartment, these are where I keep my daily powders. So I have the L'Oreal True Match in Cocoa, which I use to contour. This is the Bare Minimals Bare Pro powder in Sable 21. I have an Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow powder duo. I use soft brown, and I just use this guy to fill in my brows after I put on foundation because sometimes it covers up my brows. I have the Tarte CC Under Eye Corrector here for my minimal makeup days. And then I have a random old ColourPop bronzer. This one is Rodeo, and I believe they don't even make it anymore, but I love it to death. I have the Desi X Katie Chasing the Sun highlighter. Another one of my holy grails, the Cover FX bronzer in Sunset. And then this NYX matte bronzer. And then over on this side are all of my extra foundations. Most of these are drugstore foundations. I have the Milani primer over here. I have two of the L'Oreal Pro Glow foundations. The Nip and Fab Viper Venom Micro Blur. I love this thing. I need to get a refill. The ColourPop foundation. I have my IT Cosmetics CC cream. This is the oil-free matte one. The MAC Strobe cream. I have this contour brush that I love to death. This one is from Japanesque, I believe. And then over here I have the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Stick Foundations. This is what I used to use daily until I got on this train, but my regular color is F11, and then my contour color is F14, and I still use this one to do cream contour. It is the best cream contour tool I have ever used. And then over here I have, this is a Jouer tinted sunscreen, and then this Real Techniques foundation brush. So in this little compartment I have the e.l.f. Moonlight Pearls highlighter. Not a lot of people talk about this one. It's kind of like a secret gem, but it's just such a pretty highlight. You do have to scratch off that top layer though, because if you don't, it's honestly like there's nothing coming off on your brush. And then I have the Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter. This is in Peach Lights. This highlighter is so pretty and so different from the other highlighters that I have. I also have the Becca Cosmetics and Jaclyn Hill collab. This is the split pan of Prosecco and Pamplemousse. And then I have another Becca Cosmetics. This is actually one of their blushes. And the color that I have is Tiger Lily. This is the Tarte Shape Tape Amazonian Clay Bronzer in Park Avenue Princess. I've hit pan on this one. I love this and I want to refill it in the bigger size. I have the Wet n Wild Color Icon Blush in Mellow Wine. I love this color for the winter and fall time. And then I have this tiny little Bliss highlighter from Ofra that I got as a little sample a little while back, but now I have a bigger eye of it. I have the Milani Baked Bronzer in here. Another L'Oreal True Match powder that I use to contour. This one is in Cappuccino and it's more of a warmer contour. Of course, I have the Becca Cosmetics Jaclyn Hill. Well, this was one, it was a Jaclyn Hill collaboration, but this is Champagne Pop in its first release. And then I also have two Wet n Wild highlighting powders. These are Precious Pearls and Crown of My Canopy. Honestly, one of the best drugstore highlights on the market, in my opinion. So that was my vanity tour. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you guys liked it, and make sure to subscribe, hit that notifications button, and follow me on Instagram at _bottledambition.